Jasmine Carter stared at the pregnancy test, her hands shaking so badly she nearly dropped it. Pregnant. From a one-night stand with a man whose last name she didn't know. It had been one perfect night in Seoul. A gorgeous stranger at a hotel bar. Chemistry that burned through every rational thought. Hours of passion that made her forget she was the sensible one, the responsible one, the woman who never did reckless things. Just tonight, he'd whispered against her skin. No names, no promises, just us. She'd agreed. One night of escape before flying back to her orderly Atlanta life. Except life had other plans. Now, 6 weeks later, she was 29, single, building a business, and pregnant by a Korean billionaire she'd never see again. She didn't have his number, didn't know his last name. Just Siwon, and the memory of dark eyes that had seen straight through her walls. This should have been simple. Take care of it. Move on. Forget Seoul ever happened. But as Jasmine's hand moved to her still flat stomach, she knew nothing about this would be simple, and she had no idea that in 3 months she'd see him again, and everything would explode. 6 weeks earlier, Seoul. The corporate event had been a nightmare. 3 days of coordinating international executives, managing last-minute crises, and functioning on 4 hours of sleep. Jasmine had handled it flawlessly, because that's what she did. At 29, she'd built Carter Events from nothing into one of Atlanta's premier corporate event companies. But Seoul had tested her. Language barriers, cultural differences, a client who changed requirements hourly. By the final night, after the last executive had departed and her team had packed up, Jasmine was exhausted, wired, and desperately needing to decompress before her morning flight. The hotel bar was elegant, quiet, perfect for a solo drink and some peace. That's where she saw him. He sat alone at the bar, expensive suit slightly loosened, tie undone, looking as exhausted and tightly wound as she felt. But gorgeous, devastatingly so. Sharp features, dark hair perfectly styled despite the late hour, and an intensity that radiated even in stillness. Their eyes met, held. Something electric passed between them. "Rough night?" he asked in perfect English, his accent adding an edge that made her pulse quicken. "Rough week. You?" "Rough year." His smile was slight, but genuine. "I'm Siwon." "Jasmine." She moved to the seat beside him, drawn by something she couldn't name. "What brings you to a hotel bar alone at midnight?" "Avoiding reality." "You?" "Same." She studied him. Expensive watch, custom suit, the kind of presence that screamed power and money. "Let me guess. CEO? Entrepreneur? Someone important avoiding responsibility?" "Something like that." His eyes traced her face with unnerving focus. "And you? Event coordinator? The type who handles everything perfectly while slowly burning out?" "How did you—" "I recognize the signs. I live them." He ordered them both drinks. "Tell me, Jasmine, if you could do anything right now, with no consequences, no judgment, what would it be?" The question hung between them, loaded with possibility. "I'd be reckless," she admitted. "Just once. Do something completely out of character. Be someone other than responsible Jasmine, who always makes the safe choice." "Interesting." His gaze intensified. "I was thinking the same thing." The air shifted, charged. They both knew where this was going. "I fly out tomorrow morning," Jasmine said carefully. "Back to Atlanta, back to real life." So tonight is all we have. Just tonight. No names beyond first. No promises. No complications. No complications, he agreed. But his eyes promised complications aplenty. 3 hours later, in his penthouse suite, Jasmine discovered what reckless felt like. His touch erased every rational thought, every carefully built wall. He was intense, demanding, surprisingly tender, treating her body like something precious while driving her absolutely wild. "You're stunning," he murmured against her skin. "I want to memorize every inch of you. We have one night. Better work fast." His laugh was low, intimate. "Then I'll make it count." They made love until dawn, passionate, desperate, connecting on levels that terrified her. In those hours, Jasmine forgot about responsibility, consequences, her carefully planned life. She was just woman with man, experiencing something rare and real. When morning came, they lay tangled together, both avoiding the inevitable goodbye. "I wish," he started. "Don't." She pressed fingers to his lips. Tonight was perfect, because it was just tonight. Real life would ruin this. "You're probably right." But his eyes said he didn't believe it. They exchanged one final kiss, tender, aching, full of things neither would say. Then Jasmine dressed, walked out, and flew back to Atlanta. She told herself it was just one night, a perfect memory, nothing more, until the pregnancy test changed everything. Present day, Atlanta. "You're what?" Tyler's voice hit a pitch only dogs should hear. Jasmine sat in their shared office, the positive test on the desk between them. Her best friend and business partner stared at it like it might explode. "Pregnant. 6 weeks. From Seoul. From the one-night stand with the mystery billionaire. His name was Siwon, and I don't know if he was actually a billionaire." "Jasmine, you described his penthouse suite, the watch, the custom everything. He was loaded." Tyler collapsed into a chair. "Okay, options. We need options. What do you want to do?" That was the question. What did she want? "I don't know. I built this business from nothing. We're finally successful, finally stable. A baby would complicate everything, but, she touched her stomach. "I'm 29, single by choice. I wasn't planning kids for years, if ever. But now that it's real, I can't just—" Her voice cracked. "I don't know, Ty. I don't know what I want. Do you want to find him? Siwon? How? I don't have his last name, his number, nothing. Seoul is a city of 10 million people. I couldn't find him if I tried. You could hire investigators. With what money? And what would I even say? Hey, remember that one night? Well, surprise, you're going to be a father. Hope that doesn't mess up your life." She laughed bitterly. "No, this is my choice to make. Alone." Tyler was quiet for a moment. "For what it's worth, you'd be an amazing mother. Terrifying and organized, but amazing. And I'd be the best gay uncle this kid could ask for." Tears filled Jasmine's eyes. "I'm scared." "I know, but you're also the strongest person I know. Whatever you decide, I've got you." 3 months later, Jasmine was showing. Not obviously to strangers, but her clothes fit differently, her body changing in subtle ways. She'd decided to keep the baby, her baby, and was slowly adjusting to the reality of single motherhood. Carter Events was thriving. They just landed their biggest contract yet, coordinating the Asian expansion launch for Kang Global Enterprises, a massive tech and real estate conglomerate. The Seoul event would be huge, prestigious, career-defining. You sure you're up for this? Tyler asked as they reviewed contracts. Seoul, where baby daddy lives. That's not going to be weird. Seoul has 10 million people. The odds of running into him are astronomical. Besides, I'll be working non-stop. No time for sightseeing or mystery man hunting. Famous last words. The flight to Seoul was long, uncomfortable with her growing belly, but manageable. Jasmine arrived 3 days before the event to oversee setup. The venue was a luxury hotel, coincidentally the same one where she'd stayed before. Memories? Tyler texted. Trying not to think about it, she replied. The client meeting was scheduled for that evening. Kang Global's executive team would review final details. Jasmine dressed carefully, professional blazer that hid her small bump, confidence she didn't entirely feel. She entered the conference room, her team behind her, ready to impress, and froze. At the head of the table sat Siwon, her Siwon, mystery man, father of her child. Except here, he was Kang Siwon, CEO, billionaire, exactly as important and untouchable as she'd suspected. Their eyes met. His face went absolutely white. Ms. Carter, his assistant said smoothly, "This is our CEO, Kang Siwon. Mr. Kang, this is Jasmine Carter from Carter Events." "We've met," Siwon said hoarsely, his eyes never leaving hers. The room went silent. Jasmine's heart hammered so hard she thought everyone could hear it. "Briefly," she managed. "Last year, at a conference." The lie hung between them. His eyes said 1,000 things. Shock, confusion, hunger, questions. "Well then, shall we begin?" His voice was controlled, but his hand shook slightly as he gestured to seats. The meeting was torture. Jasmine presented flawlessly, her professionalism kicking in, but every moment she felt his eyes on her. Studying, analyzing, knowing. When it ended, as her team filed out, Siwon's voice stopped her. "Ms. Carter, a moment. Alone." Her team left. The door closed. They stared at each other across the massive conference table. Jasmine, her name on his lips was prayer and accusation both. "Mr. Kang, it's you. I've been—" He stopped, running a hand through his hair. "I searched. For months. I didn't have your last name, didn't know where you were from. Just Jasmine, and the memory of—" He couldn't finish. "It was one night. We agreed. One night that I haven't been able to forget." He moved closer. "Why didn't you contact me? You coordinated an event here. You could have found me. I didn't know your last name either, and I didn't want to complicate your life. Complicate my—" He stopped, his eyes narrowing. "You're pregnant." Her hands instinctively moved to her stomach. "What?" "I noticed, during the presentation. The way you stood, the cut of your jacket. You're hiding something." His gaze locked on hers. "How far along?" Jasmine's blood ran cold. "That's none of your business." "If it's mine, it absolutely is my business." "Who said it's yours?" "The way you're looking at me right now, the way you're terrified." He stepped closer, his intensity overwhelming. "Is it mine, Jasmine? Are you carrying my child?" She should have lied, should have protected herself, her baby, their uncomplicated life. Instead, she whispered, "Yes." The word hung in the air. Siwon swayed slightly, gripping the table. "You're pregnant. With my baby. And you weren't going to tell me?" "I couldn't find you. And even if I could, what was I supposed to say?" "We had one night. No promises, no complications. Remember? That was before." He gestured helplessly. "Before this. before you disappeared with part of me growing inside you. God, Jasmine, I have a right to know. I have a right to choose what's best for my child. Our child. The door burst open. A beautiful Korean woman in designer clothes swept in, her eyes cold and assessing. Siwon, darling, the dinner reservation. She stopped, seeing Jasmine. Oh, who's this? Siwon's face went carefully blank. Yejin, this is Miss Carter. She's coordinating the expansion launch. How lovely. Yejin's smile didn't reach her eyes. She moved to Siwon's side, her hand possessive on his arm. I'm Yejin Park, Siwon's fiancé. The word hit like a sledgehammer. Fiancé. Jasmine felt her world tilt. Congratulations, she managed. Thank you. We're getting married in 3 months, combining 2 families, 2 fortunes. Very traditional. Yejin's gaze moved to Jasmine's stomach. Too knowing, too calculating. You look flushed, Miss Carter. Are you feeling well? Just jet lag. I should go. Jasmine grabbed her bag. Mr. Kang, we'll finalize details tomorrow. Jasmine, wait. But she was already gone, practically running from the conference room, from Siwon's desperate eyes, from the fiancé who'd looked at her like she was already a problem to eliminate. In the elevator, Jasmine finally let herself feel it. The shock, the betrayal, the crushing realization. Siwon was engaged, getting married, building a life with someone else, and she was pregnant with his baby, alone in Seoul, with nowhere to run. This was about to get so much worse. Would you keep a pregnancy secret from a one-night stand who turned out to be a billionaire? What would you do if you discovered he was engaged? Let me know in the comments. If you're already hooked and can't wait to see how this pregnancy drama unfolds, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me what you think will happen next. Trust me, this story is about to get even more explosive with twists you won't see coming. Now, let's continue. Jasmine barely made it to her hotel room before the panic attack hit. Siwon was engaged, had a fiancé, was building a life with someone else while she carried his child. Breathe, she told herself, sinking onto the bed. Just breathe. Her phone buzzed. Tyler, video calling. How'd the meeting go? He asked cheerfully, then stopped. Oh, God. What happened? He was there. Siwon. He's the CEO, Kang Siwon. She laughed hysterically. And he's engaged, getting married in 3 months to some perfect Korean woman who looked at me like I was trash. Wait, back up. He saw you? Knows about the pregnancy? He figured it out. Asked me directly. I confirmed. She pressed her hands to her face. Tyler, what do I do? His fiancée walked in right after. This is a nightmare. Okay. First, you did nothing wrong. You didn't know he was engaged. Second, you need to talk to him. Alone. Figure out what he wants to do about the baby. What if he wants nothing to do with us? Or worse, what if he tries to take the baby because he's a billionaire with unlimited resources and I'm just, stop, you're catastrophizing. Talk to him first. Then we plan. After hanging up, Jasmine stared at the ceiling, trying to process everything. A knock at her door made her jump. She opened it to find Siwon, looking wrecked, tie gone, shirt disheveled, eyes desperate. We need to talk, he said. Please, let me in. Against her better judgment, she stepped aside. He paced her hotel room like a caged animal, running his hands through his hair repeatedly. I didn't know, he said finally. About Yejin. That night, I wasn't engaged. My father arranged it afterward. 6 weeks after you left, He informed me I was marrying Yejin to merge our families. I had no choice. Everyone has choices. Not in my family. Not when billions of dollars and generations of tradition are at stake. He stopped pacing, facing her. But that doesn't matter now. You're pregnant. With my child. That changes everything. Does it? You're still getting married. I'll break the engagement. You can't just, I can and I will. Jasmine, I have a child coming. My child. That takes precedence over business arrangements. What about love? Do you love her? He was quiet for a beat. No, I barely know her. This marriage was never about love. It's about duty, family, legacy. But now, his hand moved toward her stomach, but stopped. May I? She nodded, and his palm pressed gently against her small bump. His eyes filled with wonder and fear. There's a person in there. Our person. Yes. How far along? 14 weeks. Due in late March. You've been carrying my child for 3 months and I didn't know. Didn't get to be there for appointments, hear the heartbeat, see the ultrasounds. His voice cracked. I missed all of that. I didn't know how to find you. And even if I did, I wasn't sure you'd want to know. Of course, I'd want to know. His intensity flared. This is my child, Jasmine. My responsibility. He stopped, searching for words. My chance at something real. Do you have any idea how empty my life has been? Business, pressure, expectations. And then, one night with you, I felt actually alive. Then you disappeared. We agreed. I know what we agreed, but that was before I fell for you. The confession hung in the air. Jasmine's heart hammered. You don't know me. One night doesn't equal falling for someone. Maybe not for most people, but for me? That night was the most honest conversation I'd had in years. You saw me. Not CEO Kang, not the billionaire, not the heir, just Siwon. And I saw you. Brilliant, exhausted, funny, real. I've been searching for you ever since. But you got engaged to someone else. Because I had no choice and no hope of finding you. But you're here now. With my baby. That changes the equation entirely. Your father won't just let you break an engagement that's clearly important. My father doesn't control my life. Not anymore. His jaw set stubbornly. I'm 35 years old, built this company into what it is today, and I'm done living for his approval. This baby, our baby, is mine to protect, mine to claim. And you, his eyes burned into hers. I want you in my life, not as obligation, as choice. Siwon, this is crazy. We had one night. Now I'm pregnant, you're engaged, we're from different worlds. So we figure it out, together. He moved closer. Unless you don't want that, unless you'd prefer I just send money. Stay uninvolved, let you raise our child alone. No, I mean, she struggled with words. I want my baby to know their father, but I won't be your mistress while you marry someone else. I won't be hidden or ashamed. If you want to be involved, you need to actually be free, not engaged, not committed elsewhere. Done. I'll end it tomorrow. Just like that? Just like that, because you and our baby are worth more than a business arrangement. He hesitated. Can I ask, what were you planning? If you hadn't run into me, were you going to have the baby alone? Yes. I have my business, my best friend, my support system in Atlanta. I'd figured it out. You shouldn't have to figure it out alone. You should have help, support, someone. He stopped. I want to be there, for everything. Appointments, decisions, birth, raising this child. If you'll let me, this is moving really fast. We made a baby in one night. Fast is relative. His slight smile faded. I know this is overwhelming, but Jasmine, I'm not walking away. Not from you, not from our child. Whatever it takes. Before she could respond, her phone rang. The event coordinator from Kang Global. Ms. Carter, there's been a scheduling change for tomorrow's site visit. Mr. Kang will be personally overseeing. Already handled, Siwon called out, loud enough for the phone to pick up. Ms. Carter and I are coordinating directly. Clear my morning schedule. After Jasmine hung up, she turned to him. You can't just rearrange your entire schedule. I'm the CEO. I can do whatever I want, and what I want is time with you. To talk, plan, figure out this new reality. His expression turned vulnerable. Please, give me a chance to do this right, to be the father our child deserves, the partner you deserve. Partner? Poor word choice. The support you deserve. He struggled. I'm not good at this. Feelings, connections, honesty. I've spent decades being CEO first, human second, but you make me want to be human. Our baby makes me want to be better. Jasmine studied him. This powerful, intense man who looked terrified and hopeful in equal measure. Against every ounce of self-preservation, she felt herself softening. Okay, we'll talk, figure things out, but Siwon, you need to handle your engagement first. I won't be involved while you're committed to someone else. Tomorrow, first thing, I'll end it. He moved to the door, then turned back. Get some rest. We have a lot to figure out. But Jasmine, I meant what I said. I'm not running. Not from you, not from this. I'm all in. After he left, Jasmine sat in the quiet room, her hand on her stomach, trying to process. One night had created a child. Now it was creating something bigger, more complicated, more terrifying, and she had no idea if it would be a disaster or a miracle. The next morning started with an unexpected visitor. Yejin appeared at Jasmine's hotel room door at 8 a.m., immaculate in designer clothes, her smile sharp as broken glass. Miss Carter, I hope I'm not disturbing. Actually, this won't take long. Yejin swept past her into the room uninvited. I wanted to have a woman-to-woman conversation about Siwon. I don't think you're pregnant with his child. Not a question. Yejin's eyes were calculating. I saw the signs yesterday. The way he looked at you, the protective stance. Plus, I had my assistant investigate. You were in Seoul 14 weeks ago. Stayed at this hotel. So did Siwon, during his business trip. Jasmine's blood ran cold. You've been following him. When one is engaged to a man worth billions, one pays attention. Siwon has been distracted since that trip. Distant. Now I know why. She studied Jasmine like an insect. Here's what's going to happen. You'll finish your event contract, collect your fee, and return to Atlanta. Alone. You'll have your baby, we'll arrange quiet child support, and no one needs to know Siwon fathered a child with... Her pause was deliberate. A foreign event coordinator. That's not your decision to make. Actually, it is. I'm marrying into the Kang family. That means protecting their reputation. A scandal involving a pregnant American would destroy the merger, embarrass the family, and cost everyone billions. So you'll take the generous settlement I'm offering and disappear. And if I refuse, then things get unpleasant. For you, your business, your reputation. I have resources, Ms. Carter, and I'm very good at making problems disappear. Yejin pulled out a document. $10 million, immediate transfer. In exchange, you sign away parental rights, agree to confidentiality, and never contact Siwon again. The child will be raised by Siwon and myself after our marriage. You get to continue your life unburdened. You want me to sell my baby? I want to offer you a solution to an impossible situation. You're not equipped to raise a Kang heir. You don't understand our culture, our world, our expectations. The child deserves better than a single mother struggling to balance business and parenthood. We can provide everything: education, opportunity, legacy. Except a mother who actually loves them. Love is overrated. Security and opportunity matter more. Yejin set the document on the table. 24 hours to decide: accept the offer or face the consequences of refusing. After she left, Jasmine called Siwon immediately. Your fiancé just threatened me, she said without preamble. What? She knows about the pregnancy. Offered me 10 million to disappear and sign away parental rights. Said if I refuse, she'll destroy my reputation and business. Siwon's voice turned lethal. Where are you? My hotel room. Don't move. I'm coming now. He arrived within 20 minutes, fury radiating from him. Tell me exactly what she said. Jasmine repeated the conversation, including the document Yejin had left. Siwon read it, his jaw clenching tighter with each line. She had no right, none. He pulled out his phone. I'm ending this, now. Siwon, wait. But he was already dialing. The conversation was in rapid Korean, but Jasmine caught enough to understand. He was calling off the engagement, effective immediately, yelling about boundaries and threats, and being done with manipulation. When he hung up, his hands shook slightly. It's done. The engagement is over. My father will be furious, but I don't care. No one threatens you or our child. She's going to retaliate. She said, let her try. I have resources too, and I protect what's mine. His eyes burned into hers. You are not disappearing. Our baby is not being raised by anyone but us. And Yejin is learning today that threatening you was the biggest mistake of her life. Your father will adapt or he won't, but I'm done living for his approval. He moved closer, his intensity overwhelming but not frightening. Jasmine, I need you to understand something. This baby is mine. You are... He stopped, searching for words. You're under my protection now, mine to guard, and I take that seriously. I can protect myself, I know, but you shouldn't have to, not alone. His hand moved to her stomach again, the gesture becoming familiar. How are you feeling? Is the baby okay? Have you been to a doctor since arriving? I'm fine. Baby's fine. I have an appointment next week in Atlanta. Cancel it. I'm getting you the best obstetrician in Seoul. Today. We're doing a full checkup, making sure everything's developing properly. Siwon, I have my own doctors, and now you have access to mine. Better technology, specialists who handle high-risk pregnancies. This isn't high risk. You're carrying a Kang heir. That makes it automatically high profile, which means best possible care. His tone left no room for argument. Dae-hyun, his assistant, appeared at the door. Sir, get Dr. Yoon on the phone. Tell her it's urgent, personal matter. I need her to see someone today. Sir, Dr. Yoon is fully booked. I don't care. Make it happen. After Dae-hyun left, Jasmine turned to Siwon. You can't just snap your fingers and rearrange the world. I can and I will. For you and our baby, I'll rearrange anything. He sat beside her on the bed. I know this is overwhelming. I know I'm intense and probably overstepping. But Jasmine, I missed 3 months. 3 months of your pregnancy, of our child growing. I'm not missing another day. I'm only here for 2 weeks. Then I go back to Atlanta. So we have 2 weeks to figure things out. Doctor's appointments, planning, discussing the future. And then, he hesitated. What if you stayed? In Seoul. Your business is successful. You could expand here, coordinate events throughout Asia. I'd provide office space, resources, connections. You'd still be independent, building your empire. But you'd be here, with me, where I can help with the pregnancy, be present for everything. Siwon, I have a life in Atlanta. I know, and I'm not asking you to abandon it. Just consider options. Please. His vulnerability showed through the CEO armor. I want to be there when the baby kicks the first time. When we find out the gender, when you're craving weird food at 2 a.m., all of it. I want to be the father this child deserves, and I can't do that from across the world. This is too fast. We made a baby in one night. Everything about us is fast. He smiled slightly. But we don't have to decide today. Just let me take you to the doctor. Let me make sure you're both healthy. Can you give me that much? Against her better judgment, Jasmine nodded. Fine, but I'm keeping my Atlanta apartment and my business operations there. I'm not dependent on you. I don't want you dependent. I want you safe, healthy, and present. There's a difference. He stood, offering his hand. Come on. Dr. Yoon is the best in Seoul. She'll tell us if everything's progressing normally. Dr. Yoon's office was in a luxury medical building, all glass and marble, clearly catering to wealthy clientele. The examination was thorough, too thorough. After the ultrasound, Dr. Yoon's expression turned serious. Is something wrong? Jasmine's heart hammered. Not wrong, exactly. But, Miss Carter, were you aware you're carrying twins? The world stopped. What? Twins? Fraternal, from the looks of it. Both developing normally, but you're carrying 2 babies, not 1. Siwon's face went absolutely white. Twins? Yes, it happens sometimes. The angle of early ultrasounds can hide the second fetus, but at 14 weeks, they're both clearly visible. Congratulations. After the appointment, they sat in Siwon's car in stunned silence. Twins, Jasmine whispered. I'm having twins. We're having twins, Siwon corrected, still looking shell-shocked. 2 babies, at once. Oh, God. I can barely wrap my head around 1 baby, and now, she laughed hysterically. Twins, this is insane. This is... He stopped, then started laughing too. This is absolutely insane, and perfect, and terrifying. They sat laughing and crying, the weight of new reality settling over them. My father is going to have a heart attack, Siwon said. 2 illegitimate grandchildren from a one-night stand. He stopped. Actually, he'll probably be thrilled. Heirs. Multiple heirs. That's what he's always wanted. Your ex-fiancée just offered me $10 million for 1 baby. Wonder what she'd offer for 2. Nothing, because she's never getting near you or them again. His hand found hers. Jasmine, I know this changes everything. Twins are more complicated. Financially, physically, logistically. But I'm still here. Still all in. Even though this is way more than you signed up for. I signed up for you the moment I touched you. Everything since has just been details. He turned to face her fully. We're having twins. Our twins. and we're going to figure this out. Together. Together, she echoed, trying to believe it was possible. But as they drove back to her hotel, neither noticed the car following them. Neither knew that Yejin wasn't accepting rejection quietly. And neither realized that the real war was just beginning. Because a scorned fiancé with unlimited resources was far more dangerous than they'd imagined. And she was about to prove exactly how ruthless she could be. The news about the twins spread through the Kang family like wildfire. Chairman Kang summoned Siwon and Jasmine to the family estate the next day, a sprawling traditional compound in Gangnam that screamed old money and older power. I should go alone, Siwon said as they drove there. My father can be intense. I'm having his grandchildren, plural. I think I can handle intense. Jasmine's hand rested protectively on her stomach. Besides, we're in this together, remember? Together, he agreed, but worry creased his forehead. The estate was intimidating. Guards at the gate, manicured grounds, a main house that looked like it belonged in a historical drama. Inside, Chairman Kang waited in a formal sitting room, his presence commanding despite his age. So, he said in accented English, studying Jasmine with sharp eyes, you're the American carrying my grandchildren. Yes, sir. Jasmine met his gaze steadily, refusing to be intimidated. 2 grandchildren, twins, from a one-night encounter with my son. His tone was neutral, impossible to read. This is unconventional. I'm aware. Father, Siwon warned, if you're going to insult Jasmine, I'm not insulting anyone. I'm stating facts. Chairman Kang turned to his son. You broke your engagement to Yejin Park, cost us a multi-billion-dollar merger, embarrassed 2 families, all for a woman you spent one night with. All for my children, and yes, for Jasmine. Siwon's voice was steel. The engagement was your arrangement, not mine. I never wanted it. These babies, our babies, they're mine to protect. I'm not apologizing for that. I'm not asking you to apologize. I'm asking you to think strategically. Chairman Kang pulled out a folder. Yejin's family is threatening legal action for breach of contract. The Park Corporation is pulling out of 3 joint ventures. Stock prices dropped 4% yesterday on merger cancellation news. This is costing us billions. Then we absorb the cost. I'm not marrying someone I don't love to save business deals. Love. Chairman Kang's laugh was bitter. Your generation acts like love is currency. It's not. Power is currency. Legacy is currency. And these twins... His gaze cut to Jasmine. They're Kang legacy now, which means this situation requires management. I'm not a situation to be managed, Jasmine said firmly. No, you're the mother of my grandchildren. That gives you value, but it also gives you responsibility. He leaned forward. Here's reality, Miss Carter. Those babies will be born into one of Korea's most powerful families. They'll inherit billions. They'll carry the Kang name. That's not something you can handle alone from Atlanta. I'm perfectly capable of raising them modestly, safely, privately. But is that what's best for them? Or is it better to have access to the best education, healthcare, opportunities, security that comes with the Kang fortune? Are you offering or threatening? Jasmine's voice was sharp. I'm stating facts. Those twins are Kang heirs. They deserve to be raised as such, which means you need to be here, in Seoul, close to family, resources, protection. I have a business in Atlanta, which you can run from anywhere. I'll provide office space, staff, connections to every major company in Asia. Your business will triple within a year. He pulled out another document. But there are conditions. You move to Seoul permanently. You allow the children to be raised with Korean culture and language alongside yours. And you sign a prenuptial agreement. Prenup? We're not getting married. Yet, Chairman Kang said. But Siwon is my heir. When he marries, and he will marry, his wife needs legal protection, as do his children. This document ensures your security and theirs, while protecting family assets. Father, this is premature, Siwon protested. No, it's necessary. Mrs. Carter seems intelligent. She'll understand that protecting everyone's interests is logical. He pushed the document toward Jasmine. Read it. Have your lawyers review it. But understand, this family protects its own. You're carrying Kang heirs. That makes you family. Whether you like it or not. After the meeting, Siwon drove Jasmine back to her hotel in tense silence. I'm sorry, he said finally. My father is difficult. He's terrifying and manipulative, but he's not wrong about some things. Jasmine stared at the documents in her lap. These babies are Kang heirs. They deserve opportunities I can't provide alone. Education, security, healthcare. Don't let him pressure you into decisions you're not ready for. He's not pressuring. He's stating reality. She turned to Siwon. I've been trying to figure this out alone. How to be a single mother to twins while running a business. It's overwhelming. But with your family's help, our family, you're part of it now. Am I? Or am I just the incubator for the next generation of Kangs? You're the mother of my children. That's not incubator, that's forever. His hand found hers. Jasmine, I know my father comes on strong, but he's right about one thing. These twins deserve every advantage, and you deserve support. Let me provide that. Both of you, all three of you, deserve the best I can give. Before Jasmine could respond, her phone rang. Tyler panicked. Jazz, we have a problem. A huge problem. What's wrong? Our biggest client just canceled. The Thompson wedding, $300K contract, gone. And 3 others are reconsidering our services. Someone's sabotaging us. Jasmine's blood ran cold. Yejin. Who? Siwon's ex-fiancée. She threatened me yesterday. Said she'd destroy my business if I didn't disappear. Well, she's making good on that threat. Jazz, we could lose everything. Our reputation, our clients, the business we've built. I'll handle it. Give me a few hours. She hung up, her hands shaking with rage. She's going after my business. Yejin is destroying everything I've built. Siwon's expression turned deadly. She won't get away with this. How do we stop her? She has resources, connections. So do I. And mine are bigger. He pulled out his phone. Daehyun, I need a full list of the Park family's business vulnerabilities. Every contract, every investment, every pressure point. And I need it now. Siwon, what are you doing? Fighting back. Yejin wants war? She's got it. But she's about to learn that threatening you was a mistake. A fatal one. The next 48 hours were a blur of strategic warfare. Siwon mobilized his entire corporate empire against the Park family. Contracts canceled. Investments pulled. Subtle pressures applied through every business connection the Kang family possessed. Within 2 days, the Park Corporation's stock had dropped 12%. 3 major deals fell through, and Yejin's father called Siwon directly, demanding he stop the assault. "Tell your daughter to leave Jasmine alone," Siwon said coldly. "Tell her to restore every contract she canceled, every reputation she damaged. Tell her that if she comes near Jasmine or my children again, I'll destroy everything the Parks have built. Are we clear?" By day 3, Jasmine's clients were calling back, apologizing for misunderstandings, reinstating contracts. The damage was being undone. But Yejin wasn't finished. She appeared at Jasmine's hotel again, this time with visible fury replacing the cold calculation. "You've won this round," she said. "Siwon defended you. My family backed down. Congratulations. I didn't want this fight, but you got it anyway, because you spread your legs for a man engaged to someone else, got pregnant, and think that entitles you to his fortune. I didn't know he was engaged, and I don't want his money. Liar. You're here, aren't you? Playing family with him, letting his father buy you off with office space and promises. You're exactly what I thought. A gold digger who trapped him with a pregnancy. Get out, gladly. But understand something, Ms. Carter. I may have lost this battle, but the war isn't over. You're carrying his children, yes, but you're not his wife. You're not even Korean. You'll never truly fit into this world. And eventually, when the novelty wears off, when reality sets in, he'll realize what a mistake you are. And I'll be waiting." After she left, Jasmine sat, shaking with anger and fear, because part of her whispered that Yejin was right. She was American, black, from a completely different world. Would Siwon's family ever really accept her? Would he eventually resent being tied to her through children he hadn't planned? A knock at the door. Siwon carrying takeout bags. "I brought dinner, and before you say you're not hungry, you're eating for 3 now. Doctor's orders." He set everything up, then noticed her expression. "What happened?" "Yejin was here, said some things." "What things?" Jasmine repeated the conversation, including the parts about not being good enough, not fitting in, being a mistake. Siwon's jaw clenched. She's wrong about all of it. Is she? I'm carrying your babies, but I'm not Korean. I don't speak the language fluently. I don't understand the culture fully. Your father tolerated me because of the twins, but does he actually accept me? He will. They all will. Because you're brilliant, strong, and the mother of my children. That's all that matters. But what about you? In 5 years, 10 years, when raising twins gets hard and complicated, will you regret this? Regret me? Never. He pulled her close. "Jasmine, listen to me. That night in the bar, I was drowning in obligation, expectation, emptiness. Then I met you, real, honest, unimpressed by wealth or status. You saw me, just Siwon. Not the CEO, not the heir. Me. That's rare. That's valuable. That's why I've been searching for you. But we barely know each other. So we'll learn. We have 7 months until the twins arrive. That's time to build something real. Not based on one night, but on choice, on partnership, on becoming the family these babies deserve. What if I'm not enough? What if I can't do this? Twins, Seoul, your world. Then we figure it out together. You're not alone anymore, Jasmine. I'm here. My resources are yours. My protection is yours. My family, complicated as they are, is yours. He kissed her forehead gently. We're going to be okay. All 4 of us. I promise. She wanted to believe him, desperately. But that night, as she tried to sleep, doubt whispered in the darkness. What if she'd made a terrible mistake? What if Yejin was right? What if she didn't belong in Siwon's world at all? 1 week later, everything changed again. Jasmine woke up to cramping. Not severe, but enough to worry her. She called Siwon immediately. I'm coming. Don't move. I'm sending a car now. At the hospital, Dr. Yoon examined her with serious efficiency. After what felt like hours, she returned with news. The babies are fine, but you have placenta previa. One placenta is covering the cervix. It's not immediately dangerous, but it requires monitoring. And Ms. Carter, she paused, you need to reduce stress significantly. High stress can worsen this condition. I'm recommending modified bed rest for the remainder of your pregnancy. Bed rest? I can't. I have a business, events to coordinate. You have twins to protect. This condition can lead to hemorrhaging, premature birth, serious complications. I'm not suggesting bed rest. I'm prescribing it. After the appointment, Siwon drove her to his penthouse, not her hotel. What are you doing? She asked. Taking care of you? You can't be alone in a hotel room with this diagnosis. You need support, monitoring, help. You're staying with me. Siwon, I can't just move into your place. You can, and you will. I have staff, a full medical team on call, everything you need. And more importantly, I'll be there to make sure you rest, that you're not pushing yourself, that someone's watching for warning signs. This is too fast. Our entire relationship has been too fast. We made twins in one night. Everything else is just keeping pace. He pulled into his building's private garage. Please, let me take care of you, all three of you. The penthouse was stunning, sprawling, modern, with views of Seoul that stole her breath. But what caught Jasmine's attention was the room Siwon showed her, already being converted into a nursery. You started this already? She asked, stunned. The day I found out. 2 cribs, changing tables, everything they'll need. I wanted to be ready. He gestured around. This can be your room. The master suite is yours. I'll take the guest room. You'll have privacy, space, everything you need. You're giving me your bedroom? You're carrying my children. You get the best of everything. His smile was slight. Besides, there's an attached bathroom with a soaking tub, good for pregnancy aches. Over the next few days, Jasmine settled into strange domesticity. Siwon worked from home more, checking on her constantly. His sister Mirai visited daily, excited about the twins, surprisingly welcoming. I'm so glad Appa finally found someone real, Mirai said, helping Jasmine pick out baby clothes online. Yejin was terrible, cold, calculating, only cared about the merger. But you? You actually care about him. I barely know him, Jasmine admitted. But you see him. That's rare in our world. Most people see the CEO, the money, the power. You see my brother. That matters. Your father tolerates me because of the babies. That's not the same as acceptance. Father is traditional. He'll come around, especially when he meets his grandchildren. Mirai smiled. But honestly, Appa is different with you. Softer, more human. That's worth everything. That night, Jasmine found Siwon in his home office, working late. You should rest, she said. You've been taking care of me all week. You need sleep, too. I'm fine, just handling some business. He stopped, noticing her expression. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I just. She moved into the room. I wanted to say thank you for all of this. The penthouse, the care, dealing with Yejin, everything. You didn't have to, but you did. You're carrying my children. Of course I did. He stood, moving to her. Jasmine, I need you to understand something. This isn't obligation. Taking care of you, being here. I want this. I want you in my space, in my life. Not because of the twins, because of you. But if I wasn't pregnant, if you weren't pregnant, I'd still have searched for you. Still wanted you here. The babies just accelerated what was already inevitable. What was inevitable? This. Us. Building something real. His hand moved to her stomach, feeling the small bump. I know the circumstances are insane. One night, twins, my complicated family, your business in another country. But underneath all that, there's something here, between us. Don't you feel it? She did. That's what terrified her. I'm scared of what this is becoming, of caring too much, of building a life here and then what? I walk away? Jasmine, I'm all in, completely. These babies are mine. You are. He stopped, searching for words. You're mine too, not in a possessive way, in a I choose you way. Does that make sense? Not really. We barely know each other. So let's change that. Ask me anything. What do you want to know? Over the next hour, they talked. Real talk. About childhoods, dreams, fears, failures. Siwon opened up about the pressure of being Kang heir, the loneliness of his position, the way business had consumed everything until that night with her. You were the first real thing I'd felt in years, he admitted. That's why I searched so desperately, not just because of attraction. Because you woke something up in me I thought was dead. What thing? Hope. That life could be more than obligation and business. That connection was possible, that I could be someone beyond CEO. His eyes held hers. You gave me that, one night, and I want more nights, more mornings, more everything, even with twins, the stress, the exhaustion, the chaos, especially with twins, because they're ours. This beautiful, complicated, impossible situation is ours, and I wouldn't change it. The moment stretched between them, charged with something bigger than attraction. Then Jasmine felt it. A flutter. Small. Quick. Unmistakable. Oh, she breathed. What? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. The baby's just kicked. First time. She grabbed his hand, pressing it to her stomach. Wait. There. Feel that? His expression transformed. Wonder, joy, tears gathering. That's them? That's our babies? That's them. He dropped to his knees, his face level with her stomach, his hands gentle on her bump. Hi, he whispered. I'm your dad. I know you can't hear me yet, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to protect you, love you, be here for everything. I promise. Jasmine's own tears fell, watching this powerful man reduced to vulnerable father, talking to babies who couldn't hear him yet, making promises he clearly intended to keep. Siwon, she whispered. He looked up, and the emotion in his eyes stole her breath. I'm falling for you, he said, not because of the twins, because of you. The way you challenge me, the way you're strong even when scared, the way you see me. I'm falling, Jasmine. And I don't want to stop. This is crazy. I know, but say you feel it too. Please, say I'm not alone in this. She looked at him, brilliant, intense, impossible Siwon, and couldn't lie. You're not alone. I feel it too, and it terrifies me. Good. We'll be terrified together. He stood, pulling her close. Whatever happens, we face it together. Deal? Deal. He kissed her then, tender, claiming, full of promises neither had planned to make. And for the first time since that night in the bar, Jasmine let herself believe. Maybe this wasn't a mistake. Maybe this was exactly where she was supposed to be. But neither of them knew that Chairman Kang was listening through the home security system. Neither knew he was already planning their future. And neither knew that the biggest twist was still coming, one that would change everything they thought they knew about that one night. Because secrets had a way of surfacing, and this one would shake them both to the core. 2 weeks later, the secret emerged in the worst possible way. Jasmine woke to find Siwon in his office at 2 a.m., looking at a file with an expression of devastation and fury. "What's wrong?" she asked. He looked up, and the pain in his eyes made her stomach drop. "We need to talk. About that night. The night we met. What about it?" It wasn't coincidence. His voice was hollow. "Jasmine, I need you to tell me the truth. Did you know who I was? Before we met?" "What?" "No. You said your name was Siwon, no last name. I had no idea you were CEO of anything. But you were there, at that specific hotel, the same night I was there, coordinating an event for one of my subsidiary companies." He pushed the file toward her. "This is an investigation report. My father ordered it the day after he found out about the pregnancy. He wanted to know everything about you, about that night, about whether this was planned." Jasmine's blood ran cold. "Planned? You think I deliberately got pregnant to trap you?" "No, God, no. But the report—" He ran a hand through his hair. "It shows that the event you coordinated, it was for Kang Global. One of our subsidiaries hired your company. You were literally working for my company that week." "I didn't know. The subsidiary has a different name. Carter Events coordinates for hundreds of companies. I had no idea it was connected to you. I believe you. But my father doesn't. He thinks you researched me, engineered our meeting, seduced me deliberately to get pregnant and secure a fortune." Siwon's voice cracked. "He's threatening to contest paternity, demand DNA tests, accuse you of corporate espionage and entrapment. That's insane. We met by accident. Everything that happened was—" She stopped, horrified realization dawning. "Oh God, he thinks I'm a gold digger. He thinks this entire pregnancy is a scheme. He's gathering evidence, testimonies, building a case that you're a fraud who manipulated me." Siwon stood, pacing. "I've been fighting him for days, but he's relentless. He's threatening to cut off all support, contest the twins' legitimacy, destroy your reputation unless what? Unless you take a paternity test now, sign legal documents disavowing any claim to Kang fortune beyond child support, and agree to supervised visitation only. He wants to control access to the twins completely. He wants to take my babies?" Jasmine's voice rose in panic. "Not take, control, which amounts to the same thing." Siwon's fists clenched. "I've told him no. I've threatened to walk away from the company entirely, but he's playing hardball because—" He stopped, something broken in his expression. "Because I have a history." "What history?" 5 years ago, a woman claimed I fathered her child. It was before I was CEO, when I was still just heir apparent. She was convincing, had timelines, photos, evidence. My father paid her off before DNA testing. $2 million to disappear and sign an NDA. Later, we found out the child wasn't mine. She'd been scamming wealthy men for years. Jasmine felt sick. So your father thinks I'm doing the same thing. He thinks everyone is scamming. That's how his mind works. Money attracts liars, so everyone must be lying. Siwon moved to her, gripping her shoulders. But I know you're not. I know this is real. The pregnancy is real. The twins are mine. And you didn't plan any of this. Then prove it. I'll take the paternity test right now, today. Let's end this doubt. It's not about proof. It's about power. Even if the test confirms the twins are mine, which it will, he'll find other ways to maintain control. Claiming you're unfit, that raising Kang heirs requires resources you don't have, that the children belong in Korea with family supervision. So what do we do? Before Siwon could answer, his phone rang. Chairman Kang. The conversation was in rapid Korean, but Jasmine caught enough. Urgent meeting, family crisis. Both of them required at the estate immediately. The family meeting was an ambush. Chairman Kang sat at the head of the table, flanked by family lawyers and advisors. Across from them sat Yejin and her father, looking vindicated. What is this? Siwon demanded. Intervention, Chairman Kang said coldly. You've been compromised, Siwon, by a woman who clearly targeted you deliberately. We have evidence. Evidence of what? Jasmine asked, her voice shaking despite her effort to stay calm. Yejin spoke up, her smile sharp. Evidence that you researched Siwon extensively before that night, that you knew exactly who he was, what he was worth, and deliberately positioned yourself to meet him. That's a lie. Is it? Yejin's father pushed forward documents. These are your company's client files. They show you knew the event was for a Kang Global subsidiary. Your team's internal emails reference securing the Kang contract and impressing high-level executives. You knew. Knew what? That we were coordinating an event for a subsidiary? Yes, that's literally our job. But I had no idea Siwon worked there, let alone that he was CEO. Convenient story, Chairman Kang said. But the timeline is suspicious. You coordinated our event. Then you happened to be at the same hotel bar, at the exact time my son was there, and you happened to seduce him. One night later, you're pregnant with twins, twins that will inherit billions. That's not coincidence. That's strategy. Father, enough. Siwon's voice was lethal. Jasmine didn't plan anything. I approached her at the bar, not the other way around. I pursued her. I asked her to my room. This narrative you're building is fantasy. Or you're blinded by attraction and being manipulated. Chairman Kang's gaze cut to Jasmine. Ms. Carter, I'm offering you one chance. Take $10 million, sign away parental rights, return to Atlanta, and never contact my son again. The twins will be raised here, with proper resources and supervision. You'll be free to continue your life unburdened. You want me to sell my children? Again? Jasmine stood, fury overriding fear. I don't care how many billions you have. These are my babies, mine and Siwon's, and I'm not signing away my rights because you're paranoid about gold diggers. Then you leave me no choice. Chairman Kang nodded to his lawyers. We're filing for full custody the moment those children are born. We'll prove you're unfit. Single mother, foreign national, limited resources, history of taking advantage of wealthy men. History? What history? The paternity fraud case 5 years ago. We'll claim you're the same woman, using a different name. Plant enough doubt to win custody. That's perjury. That's illegal. That's power, Chairman Kang said coldly. Welcome to my world, Ms. Carter, where money writes truth and lawyers create reality. You can fight me, but you'll lose. Or you can take the settlement and walk away with dignity intact. Jasmine looked at Siwon, whose face was white with fury and helplessness, then at the lawyers, the advisors, the Park family, looking smug and victorious, then at Chairman Kang, who held all the cards and knew it. Go to hell, she said clearly, all of you. These babies are mine. And I'll fight every single one of you before I let you take them. She walked out, ignoring Siwon calling after her, ignoring the threats being shouted, ignoring everything except the need to escape. In the car, reality crashed down. Chairman Kang would fight her. He had unlimited resources, legal power, connections throughout Korea. How could she possibly win against that? Her phone rang. Tyler. Jazz, where are you? I've been trying to reach you. We have a massive problem. What now? Carter Events is being audited. IRS, tax fraud allegations, claims that we've been operating illegally in multiple countries. Our accounts are frozen. I can't make payroll. We're being destroyed. And I don't know why. Chairman Kang, Jasmine whispered. He's coming after everything. My business, my reputation, my ability to fight for my children. What? Why would he? Because I won't give up the twins. So he's destroying me, proving I'm unfit, unstable, unable to provide for children. Her voice broke. Tyler, I'm losing everything. After hanging up, Jasmine sat in the back of the car and let herself sob. She was pregnant with twins, broke, under investigation, facing a custody battle against a billionaire with no conscience, and Siwon, despite his best intentions, couldn't protect her from his own father. She'd come to Seoul for 1 week. Now she was trapped in a nightmare with no way out. Jasmine spent 3 days in her hotel room, avoiding everyone while her world crumbled. Carter Events was in shambles. Accounts frozen, clients fleeing, reputation destroyed by whispered allegations. Tyler was scrambling to save what they'd built, but it was a losing battle. Siwon called constantly. She didn't answer. What could he say that would fix this? His father had unlimited power and zero mercy. She couldn't fight that. On day 4, Mireille appeared at her door, looking determined. You need to hear something, she said, pushing past Jasmine. About our family, about why father is doing this. I know why. He thinks I'm a gold digger. No, well, yes, but it's more than that. Mireille sat heavily. Our family has a history. Our grandmother, father's mother, was a gold digger, literally. She married our grandfather for money, then had multiple affairs, including with his business partner. When grandfather found out, she tried to take half his fortune in the divorce. He fought her, won, and she abandoned father completely. He was 8 years old. Oh, father grew up believing all women were like his mother, liars using pregnancy and marriage to steal wealth. That's why he's so paranoid about you. He sees his mother in every woman who gets close to family money. Mireille's eyes filled with tears. But Jasmine, you're not his mother. You didn't plan this. You're not manipulating Siwon. I know that. Siwon knows that. Even father knows, deep down. But fear is louder than logic. So what do? I can't fight him. You don't fight him. You help him. Mireille pulled out a folder. This is everything about the paternity fraud case 5 years ago. The woman who scammed our family. She's in prison now for running the same scheme on 10 other wealthy men. Her name, her photo, her methods, all documented. Why are you showing me this? Because father is claiming you're connected to her. But you're not. Your timelines don't match. Your backgrounds are completely different. Your businesses are legitimate. If we can prove to father that you're nothing like her, show him concrete evidence, he might back down. Or he might not. Your father seems committed to seeing me as the enemy. He is. But I'm not. And more importantly, Siwon isn't. Mireille gripped Jasmine's hand. He's been fighting father nonstop, threatened to resign, to leave the family entirely, to take you and the twins and disappear. Father's starting to realize he can destroy you, but he'll lose his son in the process. That's leverage. I don't want Siwon to choose between me and his family. He's already chosen. The question is whether father will accept that or lose his son and grandchildren forever. Mireille stood. Come back, to the penthouse. Siwon is destroyed without you there, and we need to face father together. Show him that this family includes you now, whether he likes it or not. What if he doesn't back down? Then Siwon and I choose you over him. Family isn't just blood, it's choice, and we're choosing you. When Jasmine returned to the penthouse, Siwon met her at the door. He looked wrecked, unshaven, exhausted, desperate. When he saw her, relief and anguish warred on his face. You came back. I'm not running. Not from your father, not from this situation, not from you. She stepped inside. But Siwon, we need a plan. Your father is destroying my business, my reputation, everything. I can't fight him with nothing, so we don't fight him, we bypass him entirely. Siwon pulled her to the living room where Dae-hyun waited with legal documents. Marry me. Jasmine's heart stopped. What? Marry me, right now, today. We get married, file the paperwork, and suddenly you're not just the mother of my children, you're my wife, part of the family legally. That changes everything. That's insane. It's strategic. As my wife, you have legal protections. My father can't freeze accounts that are legally yours, can't claim you're unfit when you're married to his heir, can't paint you as gold digger when we're already legally bound. Siwon gripped her hands. I know this isn't romantic. I know you deserve proposals and planning and everything I'm not offering. But Jasmine, this protects you, protects the twins, gives us leverage to fight my father's manipulation. This is a business arrangement. No, it's protection wrapped in legality. But underneath, his eyes burned into hers. I want this. I want you as my wife. Not because of circumstance, but because in the weeks we've spent together, you've become essential. I want to wake up with you. I want to raise these twins together. I want forever. Do you? Jasmine struggled for words. This is crazy. We barely know each other. We know enough. We know we fit. We know we're stronger together. We know these twins deserve parents who are united. He pulled out a ring. Simple, elegant, expensive. Marry me, Jasmine Carter. Not because you have to, because you choose to. Choose us. Choose this family we're building from chaos. She looked at the ring, at Siwon's desperate, hopeful face, at Dae-hyun waiting with marriage documents, and felt the weight of impossible choice. Marrying Siwon would protect her legally, would give her ammunition against Chairman Kang, would bind them officially, but it would also be permanent, real. No takebacks. Could she do this? Marry a man she'd known for weeks, carrying his twins, facing his hostile family. Then she felt it. The twins kicking. Strong, insistent, reminding her they were real. They deserved parents who fought for them. Okay, she whispered. Yes, I'll marry you. Relief flooded Siwon's face. He slid the ring onto her finger, then kissed her, tender, claiming, sealing the decision they'd both made. We're getting married today, right now, and then we face my father together, as husband and wife, united. Together, she agreed, trying to believe this wasn't another terrible mistake. 3 hours later, they stood before a magistrate with Mirai and Daehyun as witnesses, exchanging vows that were legal, if not traditionally romantic. I do, Jasmine said, her voice shaking. I do, Siwon echoed, and slid a wedding band beside her engagement ring. I now pronounce you husband and wife. They were married. Actually married. And now they had to face Chairman Kang and tell him he'd lost. Chairman Kang's reaction to the marriage was nuclear. You did what? He roared when Siwon and Jasmine appeared at the family estate the next morning, marriage certificate in hand. We got married. Yesterday. Legally binding, already filed with the government. Siwon's voice was calm, but his hand gripped Jasmine's tightly. Jasmine is my wife now. That means she has full legal protections as a Kang family member. You can't freeze her accounts, can't claim she's unfit, can't paint her as an outsider trying to trap me. She's family, legally and permanently. You married her to spite me. I married her because I love her, because she's carrying my children, because in the weeks we've spent together, she's become the most important person in my life. Siwon stepped forward, his intensity matching his father's fury. I'm done living by your rules, done letting you manipulate my relationships, done choosing business over happiness. Jasmine is my wife. These twins are my children. And if you can't accept that, then I'm walking away. From the company, from the family, from everything. Your choice. The room went deathly silent. Chairman Kang stared at his son, face white with shock and rage. You'd abandon everything I built? Everything you've worked for? For her? Yes, without hesitation. Because what's the point of having everything if I have no one to share it with? Siwon's voice softened slightly. Father, I know your mother hurt you. I know she made you distrust women, made you see threats everywhere. But Jasmine isn't your mother. She didn't plan this pregnancy, didn't target me for money. She's just a woman who had one incredible night with me and got pregnant. That's not manipulation. That's life. You're being naive. I'm being human. Something this family forgot how to be decades ago. Siwon pulled Jasmine forward. This is my wife, the mother of your grandchildren. You can accept her and be part of our lives, or you can keep fighting and lose us all. But the marriage is done. The choice is yours. Chairman Kang looked at Jasmine, something complicated flickering in his eyes. Anger, fear, and underneath it all, desperate loneliness. You really love my son? He asked finally. This isn't about money or status? I really love him, Jasmine said steadily. I came to Seoul to coordinate an event and go home. Instead, I got pregnant with twins, fell for a man I barely knew, and ended up married into a family that terrifies me. None of this was planned. All of it is real. And the children, you'll raise them as Kangs, with our culture, our traditions. I'll raise them as Kang Carters, with Korean and American culture. They'll know where they come from on both sides. They'll have the best of both worlds. She met his gaze directly. But I won't let you control them. Or me. I'm their mother. I have a say in their lives. That's non-negotiable. Something shifted in Chairman Kang's expression. The fury drained, leaving exhaustion. You remind me of someone, he said quietly. My wife, Siwon's mother. She was strong like you, defiant, refused to be intimidated by my family's wealth or power. She stood up to me constantly. What happened to her? Jasmine asked gently. Cancer. 10 years ago. She was the only person who ever challenged me, who saw me as more than Chairman Kang. After she died, I became harder, colder, protecting my sons from women who might hurt them the way my mother hurt my father. His eyes glistened. But my wife would have liked you, would have told me I was being a fool. Would have. His voice broke. Siwon moved to his father, something raw and vulnerable in his expression. I miss her too, every day. And you're right, she would have loved Jasmine, would have been thrilled about the twins, would have told you to stop being an ass and welcome your new daughter-in-law. Chairman Kang laughed, wet, broken. She would have, in exactly those words. He looked at Jasmine. I've been cruel to you, unjust, driven by fear rather than logic. Can you forgive an old man's paranoia? Can you accept that I love your son and I'm not going anywhere? I can try. It won't be easy. I'm set in my ways. But he extended his hand. Welcome to the family, Jasmine. Officially. I'll unfreeze your business accounts, drop the custody threats, and stop the investigations. Your company's reputation will be restored. You have my word. Jasmine shook his hand, relief flooding through her. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. You're married to my son. That means family dinners, business events, traditional ceremonies, and my opinions on how to raise the twins. You'll earn that gratitude. Despite everything, Jasmine laughed. I can handle that. The next crisis came 3 weeks later. Yejin. She'd been quiet since the marriage, but silence was strategic. She appeared at a Kang Global charity gala with a man on her arm. Handsome, wealthy, clearly positioned to make Siwon jealous. Congratulations on your marriage, she said with poisonous sweetness when she cornered Jasmine. I'm sure you're very happy. For now. What do you want, Yejin? Just to share some advice. Wife to wife. Oh wait, your wife. I'm just the one he was actually supposed to marry. Her smile was sharp. Enjoy your moment, Jasmine. But remember, you trapped him with a pregnancy. I would have been his choice. When the novelty wears off and reality sets in, he'll remember that. You're pathetic, Jasmine said calmly. Clinging to a man who never loved you, who chose me over billions in merger money, who married me knowing it would cost him everything. That's not a man who was trapped. That's a man who found what he actually wanted. We'll see how long that lasts when you're dealing with twin babies, no sleep, stretch marks, and the reality of being tied to someone from a completely different world. Long enough to build a real marriage, something you were never capable of understanding. Jasmine turned away. Enjoy your new boyfriend. I hope he makes you happier than your bitterness does. She walked away, finding Siwon across the room. When he saw her, his face lit up, genuine, warm, full of love that had nothing to do with obligation. He crossed to her, his hand moving immediately to her very pregnant belly. At 6 months, she was obviously carrying twins, large, uncomfortable, but glowing. "Everything okay?" he asked. Yejin tried her final manipulation. It didn't work. She leaned into him. "I'm good. We're good. Good. Because I have news." His excitement was barely contained. The doctor called. The genetic testing came back. "We're having—" He leaned close, whispering. "One boy, one girl, a son and a daughter." Jasmine's eyes filled with tears. "Really? Really? Our family? Complete?" He kissed her softly, ignoring the gala crowd around them. "I love you. Have I mentioned that today?" "Only 3 times. You're slacking." "Then let me be clear. I love you, Jasmine Kang, more than I knew was possible. You gave me purpose beyond business, family beyond obligation, hope beyond expectation. And in 3 months, you're giving me our children. I'm the luckiest man alive." "Even though I trapped you with a pregnancy?" she teased. "You trapped me with your mind, your strength, your ability to see me as human instead of CEO. The pregnancy was just bonus." He grinned. "Though twins was excessive, one would have sufficed. Take it up with your overachieving sperm." His laugh was genuine, joyful, and as they danced together, her pregnant belly between them, his hand protective on her back, Jasmine felt the impossible become real. She'd come to Seoul for 1 week. She'd stayed for a lifetime. 2 months later, the final confrontation came from an unexpected source. Jasmine's own mother. Patricia Carter flew to Seoul unannounced, appearing at the penthouse with fury in her eyes. "You got married and didn't tell me?" she demanded the moment Jasmine opened the door. "I find out through Facebook that my daughter is married and pregnant with twins." "What the hell, Jasmine?" "Mom, I can explain." "You better explain. Because right now I'm thinking you lost your mind. Married to some Korean billionaire I've never met, pregnant with his babies, living in a foreign country. Did you forget you have family? People who love you?" Siwon appeared, carefully formal. "Mrs. Carter, I'm Siwon, your son-in-law. I apologize for the circumstances." "You apologize? You got my daughter pregnant after one night. Then what? Convinced her to marry you?" "Actually, I begged her to marry me. She resisted. Quite a bit." His slight smile faded. "Mrs. Carter, I know this looks bad, but I love your daughter. I love our children. And I'm committed to building a life together." "You love her? You barely know her." "I know enough. I know she's brilliant, strong, stubborn, and the best thing that ever happened to me. I know I want to spend my life proving I deserve her." His hand found Jasmine's. "I know I'm not who you pictured for your daughter, but I promise you, I'll protect her, cherish her, and give our children everything they need, including a father who's present and committed." Patricia studied him, her expression softening slightly. "You heard her. I don't care how many billions you have. I will end you. Understand?" "Understood. Completely." She turned to Jasmine. "And you? You're really happy? This is what you want?" "Yes, Mom. I know it's fast and crazy and nothing like I planned, but Siwon," she looked at him, "he sees me, really sees me. Not just as the mother of his children, but as partner, equal, someone worth fighting for. I love him. I love this life we're building, and I want you to be part of it." Patricia's eyes filled with tears. "You're having twins, my grandbabies, and I almost missed it because you were too stubborn to call your mother. I'm sorry. Everything happened so fast. Well, I'm here now, and I'm not leaving until these babies are born. Someone needs to teach your husband how to actually take care of a woman in labor. and it clearly won't be his uptight family. Despite everything, they all laughed, and slowly, piece by piece, the family was forming. Complicated, multicultural, imperfect, but real. 3 weeks later, at 37 weeks pregnant, labor started. Jasmine woke at 3 a.m. to contractions, mild at first, then intensifying rapidly. She shook Siwon awake. It's time. He bolted upright, immediately in CEO mode. Hospital, now. I'll get the car, call the doctor, alert the staff. Siwon, breathe. We have time. Twins come early. We might not have time. We need to. He was already pulling on clothes, grabbing the hospital bag they'd packed weeks ago. Can you walk? Should I carry you? Where's your mother? Breathing, Siwon. Try breathing. He stopped, looking at her, terror and excitement warring on his face. We're having babies. Today. Right now. Our babies. Our babies, she agreed. And despite the contractions, she smiled. Let's go meet them. The drive to the hospital was chaos. Siwon calling everyone, Jasmine timing contractions, both of them terrified and thrilled in equal measure. At the hospital, Dr. Yoon took over with calm efficiency. You're progressing quickly. Twins are eager to meet you. Too eager, Jasmine gasped through a contraction. Tell them to slow down. They're Kangs, Siwon said, holding her hand. Impatient runs in the family. The labor was intense, faster than expected for twins, complicated by positioning, but manageable. Siwon stayed beside her through all of it, letting her crush his hand, wiping her forehead, whispering encouragement. You're incredible, he murmured. So strong. I'm in awe of you. Easy for you to say. You're not pushing humans out of your body, she gasped. Fair point. You're doing all the work. I'm just moral support. Very moral. Much support, she said sarcastically, through another contraction. At 11:43 a.m., their son was born. Tiny, screaming, absolutely perfect. Siwon cut the cord with shaking hands, tears streaming down his face. He's beautiful, he breathed. Our son. 12 minutes later, their daughter followed. Smaller, quieter, but equally perfect. And our daughter, Jasmine whispered, exhausted but overjoyed. They're really here. They're really here. Siwon held both babies, one in each arm, looking absolutely overwhelmed. We made these, together. These perfect tiny humans are ours. Dr. Yoon smiled. Have you decided on names? They'd debated for weeks, wanting names that honored both cultures, both families, both worlds these children would inhabit. Kai James Kang, Siwon said, looking at their son. Kai, Korean for victory. James, after Jasmine's father. And Zuri Grace Kang, Jasmine added, studying their daughter. Zuri, African for beautiful. Grace, Korean-American fusion, meaning elegance and blessing. Perfect names for perfect babies, Patricia said from the doorway, having arrived with Mireille and Chairman Kang in tow. Chairman Kang approached slowly, his expression soft, in a way Jasmine had never seen. May I? Siwon handed him Kai carefully. The old man held his grandson with practiced ease, something breaking in his expression. Hello, Kai. I'm your Harabioji, your grandfather, and I promise, his voice cracked, I promise to be better for you than I was for your father. You'll know only love, no pressure, no manipulation, just love. Mirai held Zuri, cooing softly in Korean. She's going to be trouble. I can tell already. Smart eyes like her mother. Patricia laughed, tears streaming. Both of them are going to be trouble. With these parents, they don't stand a chance of being boring. As family surrounded them, Korean and American, biological and chosen, complicated but trying, Jasmine looked at Siwon holding their daughter, his expression pure wonder. "We did it," she whispered. "We did it," he agreed. "One night turned into forever, and I wouldn't change a single thing." 6 months later, the penthouse had transformed into organized chaos. Baby swings, toys, changing stations, evidence of twins everywhere. Jasmine stood in the nursery at 2 a.m., rocking Zuri, while Siwon handled Kai's feeding across the room. This was their reality now. Split shifts, constant exhaustion, every day a beautiful disaster. "I have a pitch meeting at 9 a.m., Siwon said, his voice exhausted. "Think I can fake being awake? You're a billionaire CEO. Fake it till you make it." Jasmine smiled, though maybe skip the spit up on your shoulder before the meeting. He looked down at the white stain on his expensive pajamas. Kai's revenge for waking him up at midnight. He's his father's son, particular about his sleep schedule. And Zuri is her mother's daughter, stubborn as hell about which bottle she'll actually accept. They swayed in comfortable silence, both babies settling, the exhaustion worth every moment. "I love this," Siwon said quietly. "The chaos, the exhaustion, the complete destruction of any personal time. I love it all. Even at 2 a.m. when you have a meeting in 7 hours. Especially then. Because it's real. We're real. This family we made from one impossible night. It's the most real thing I've ever had." After both babies were asleep, they collapsed into bed, knowing they had maybe 3 hours before the next feeding. "Carter Events Seoul office opens next month," Jasmine said sleepily. "Full staff, office in Gangnam, contracts with 5 major corporations. We did it. You did it. I just provided office space. You provided support, connections, belief that I could build something here while raising twins. That's more than office space. You would have succeeded regardless. That's who you are." He pulled her close. "Though I'm biased, everything you do amazes me. Even when I'm covered in baby vomit and haven't slept in days. Especially then. You're the strongest person I know." He kissed her forehead. "I love you, Jasmine Kang. Thank you for that night, for coming to Seoul, for giving me everything I didn't know I needed. I love you too. Even though you got me pregnant with twins on a one-night stand and completely upended my life. Best decision I ever made. Worst impulse I ever followed. Liar, you love this life." She did, against all odds, despite the chaos and complications. She absolutely loved this life they'd built from one perfect night. 1 year later, at Kai and Zuri's first birthday party. The celebration blended both cultures, Korean doll ceremony traditions mixed with American birthday party chaos. Kai and Zuri sat before a table of symbolic objects for the doljabi ceremony, choosing items that would predict their future. Kai grabbed a microphone immediately. "Entertainer," everyone cheered. Zuri studied the options carefully, then selected the stethoscope. "Doctor," Patricia announced proudly. "Or she's already tired of her brother's dramatics and wants to heal from the chaos," Jasmine joked. The party continued, family and friends mixing, 2 cultures celebrating together, joy overriding any remaining tensions. Yejin had moved on, married her wealthy boyfriend, and sent a surprisingly gracious gift with a note. "Congratulations on your beautiful family. You were right. I needed to find my own happiness instead of clinging to someone else's." Tyler had relocated to Seoul, helping run Carter Events Asia and serving as the twins' favorite Uncle Tyler. Chairman Kang was transformed, doting grandfather who bent to his grandchildren's whims in ways he'd never bent for his own sons. Patricia split time between Atlanta and Seoul, declaring she needed breaks from the chaos, but always returning quickly because she missed her grandbabies too much. As the party wound down, Siwon found Jasmine on the balcony, watching Seoul's skyline. Overwhelmed? He asked, wrapping his arms around her. Happy, grateful, still slightly in shock that this is my life. She leaned back against him. 1 year ago, they were born. 2 years ago, I was just an event coordinator, flying to Seoul for 1 week. 3 years ago, I met a stranger in a bar and changed everything. Best night of my life. Mine too, even though it was reckless and irresponsible and resulted in twins. Especially because it resulted in twins. And you. And this. He gestured to the party, their children playing with their cousins, their families mixing naturally. The life they'd built from impossible circumstances. Do you ever regret it? The complications, the drama, the way everything happened so fast. Never. Not once. He turned her to face him. Jasmine, you gave me something I didn't think existed. Real love, real family, real connection. I spent my life building a business empire while missing the entire point. Then one night with you, I understood. Life isn't about wealth or power or status. It's about finding someone who sees you and choosing to build something real together. That's very poetic for a tech CEO. Fatherhood has made me soft. He smiled. But it's true. You're my home. The twins are my purpose. This family we made from chaos, it's everything. Even when Kai screams at 3 a.m. for no reason, especially then, chaos included, I wouldn't change anything. Inside, Kai started crying, right on cue. They both laughed. Parenting calls, Jasmine said. Together? Siwon offered his hand. Always together. They walked back inside to their crying son and laughing daughter, their complicated families, their beautiful chaos. Jasmine had come to Seoul for 1 week. She'd stayed for forever. And as she picked up Kai while Siwon grabbed Zuri, surrounded by family and love and the impossible made real, she knew. Sometimes the best things in life came from the most unexpected moments. One night, 2 babies, a lifetime of love. From a one-night stand to forever, their story had defied every odd, survived every complication, and proved that sometimes the universe knew what it was doing, even when humans thought they had better plans. The end. Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed Jasmine and Siwon's journey from one-night stand to twins to marriage to family, make sure you're subscribed. More emotional love stories are coming. Stories of unexpected pregnancies, billionaire romances, family drama, and love that defies logic. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. See you in the next story. Would you tell a one-night stand about a pregnancy? Could you marry someone you barely knew to protect your children? Have you ever made a reckless decision that changed your life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.